Yeah, it's just sad. I hope if you were sick and that's why you didn't come, that you're feeling better. Well, she could have been sick at the last minute. People do not like to disappoint their audience. I don't think Barbara Streisand would ever cancel.
No, Barbara's a G.
Ever.
Barbara's a whole G.
She could have a cold, and I've seen Erykah Badu with a cold, and she's been singing her tea and her incense
and her weed.
You know, she's just vapor Vicks all up on her nose, and she's belting out at the concert.
Look at us. We are belting it out no matter
what. We are belting it out no matter what.
No matter what. Here we go.
No matter what.
Here we go.
Look at life. Yeah. Life is lifing.
But we gonna get this.
Regardless. So I thought that was really bad.
That's low. I need a baby.
Yeah, like what else was you gonna do that night? If that was all you had planned for your mom or for your wife, and then the show gets
canceled. That's just like the Usher show getting canceled 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas.
Why?
I did Friends and Family tour canceled.
I want to say something. Don't be offended. Usher's been looking a little weird since this whole puffy shit went down.
I'm not offended. That's your girl. Your home. Your
bestie. I like Usher, but he's been wearing like soul shirts and shit. Like, stop it. Yeah. And I don't know if it's the wife thing. Carrie will touch on that because maybe she's a different type of white woman. I don't know. But he's going down like Chinatown. Okay.
Chinatown does never go down, honey.
Chinatown's been down lately. There's no more bootleg stuff out there. I'll tell you
That's where I got my first nose ring at 15.
In Chinatown? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was safe. It's still there. See?
Yeah. Well, shout out to that.
Yeah, but they do lift
Did an Asian person give you that nose piercing?
Of course,
an Asian person?
But shout out, that is sad in Chinatown. Like, as soon as you're trying to shop, they get all the shoes get lifted up and walked away.
So they sell shoes out there too?
Oh, the bootleg people are no joke.
Oh my God. Okay, well, let me get another topic. But do we support her after this? Do we support her after this?
I think we need a real explanation. So many people went out there specifically for Mother's Day. Atlanta, it was sold out. People came out fly to death. Like you said, people already paid $70 for parking.
Oh, Atlanta, they
probably already went to a restaurant. They did the whole day they had the whole day like that. And
they was ready.
That was like their final epic evening thing. Anita Baker, and you're done.
We were staying in a hotel right by the stadium, and there was a bunch of girls in there dressed up.
Aww.
We were at Nordstrom Rack in Atlanta, and one of the girls was like, "Yeah, she canceled the show, so I just ended up coming here."
Oh, that's so sad.
Like, my daughter bought me tickets. I traveled down here, and then she came, they were there. And
would you continue to support her? No.
Maybe cancel a few hours before, but everyone's already there waiting to get in the door.
Hardcore.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's hardcore. You could at least, like I said, show up late like Lauren Hill.
Let me tell you something.
That's at least.
Unless there's something medically going on.
Unless I said that. I said if something's wrong, but
she probably not share that, and she's not young. But I mean, outside of that,
she should share it. I share everything. Who's talking?
But the thing is that it's not a pattern she has, right?
Yeah, it's not a pattern.
She does.
But I agree with that.
Let's err on the side of a little break.
I agree with that because look how long she took a break.
That was a long break.
Yeah.
And that break could have been from something that was medically challenging.
Let's see something. Hold on. Auntie Kim sent something. It says the sound on the podcast is lower and not easy to hear anymore. I haven't. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So someone's talking about it's not.
Oh, the sound in the podcast is low?
No. What the issue is, she can't hear the person off screen.
So well, they're not supposed to be on screen yet. That's why you don't hear them. Ding, 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 ding. Hello, is anybody here? I have a room reservation.
Can you say that again, please?
Which part?
That the off screen is
off-screen people are not on screen yet. That's why you can't hear them as well. But they're just talking with us and we're answering them. But they'll be on here soon.
They're coming.
Because we can't wait.
Listen, I haven't gotten to my topics I'm going to, I swear to you. But I have to say, so I slept in the airport, okay?
Oh, I don't like that.
So we've had some bad weather in Florida, and I had to go to New York. And I'm sorry. I'm not going to get the job there. American Airlines, you suck. You suck. Not only do they set me up, they tell me, oh, it's a storm, but what we'll do is we're going to get you to Charlotte, right? And you're going to miss your plane. You're going to miss your connector.
Yeah,
but
they don't care.
We're going to give you a hotel room. I'm like, oh, hotel room? I can be like, I need it, okay? I need it. Get there. They're like, hurry, go catch the bus.
Was it nice?
Catch the bus to the hotel. I'm going to get to that. Catch the bus to the hotel. Me and this other lady were running
with your stuff.
Okay, running with my stuff,
with
right?
Which is the hardest thing to do in the airport.
Get there, running, almost fell. I get on the bus. Get to the hotel. Yeah, we don't have a reservation. We gave that away because
Ooh,
we're
low.
oversold.
Low.
Because basically,
Low.
yeah, they booked it, but we have to take the paying people first, even though you do have a reservation,
Low.
and we have nowhere for you to go. So of course, me being the person I am, I'm having a fit. Ah, I'm so tired. I worked all day.
Wait,
Nothing's going
y'all
right.
think this is it? Wait, what if you was to
Listen.
see her in person and
Listen.
action at a real
I
spot?
was in
It's
tears.
crazy.
In tears. I'm like, I had a bad breakup. I know it's been since December, but goddamn, nothing's going right. And she says to me, "Ma'am, you know what I'm gonna do for you?" I'm like, "You have a room? I'm gonna put you in the conference room with a cart because I feel really bad."
Shit.
I said, "Bitch, I'm not sleeping in the conference room with a cart in no bathroom."
Oh, shit.
So myself and the other lady, don't pee on that couch. Myself and the other lady, we Ubered back to the airport. Only to get back to the airport, and you know what?
Oh my God.
Do you know what?
Oh my God.
They were closed. They was open back until 3:30 in the morning, so you could only sleep in the vestibule of the entrance door. I was like on the luggage thing like this, trying to get comfortable.
That is the most
holding on
uncomfortable
to my
thing, sleeping at an airport.
I got my YSL bag here, and I have my travel right here, right, and then I have my jacket rolled up, and then the lady's like, I'm gonna go on the first watch for you. You try to sleep for 30 minutes, and then I'm like, what if she robs me? But she was nice, and she was beautiful. She was beautiful woman. But yeah, so fine, 3:30. We're getting up and everything, and like we're rushing to the gate to try and get back in. And I'm like, hey, I've been out here sleeping. You guys told me to leave. I had this voucher. They're like, ma'am, you're gonna have to go online and file a complaint.
Oh, American Airlines, how dare you?
Dismiss.
How dare that happened to me in Las Vegas? I missed the whole flight for nothing.
Dismiss.
They didn't care.
So yeah, I'm trying to get to everything as I can. Mary J. Blige, she launched a new boot.
Her boots.
With Giuseppe.
Her high golden boots.
And they were beautiful. I think they were affordable. They were like $1,400, something like that.
Affordable, $1,400.
Well, they were
It's 1300.
the $1,300. Okay, with plus tax, $1,400.
That's affordable for boots, y'all.
It's affordable if it's the only thing he's gonna buy you all year. Trust me.
He might not buy you that all year.
Well, I wouldn't know either way. But I'm just saying. I've had past ones.
You had past ones that brought you nice.
And I would have let somebody save and get me the boots. I sure would have. But anyway, nevertheless, I didn't buy the boots because I bought a knockoff pair, okay? And they look just as good. I want
to see them.
You would just go on my Instagram.
I want to go in there and see
you want to see them then? Well, they're gone. They sold out.
Oh, shit.
They sold out. And let me tell you something. I love Giuseppe's. Okay? But
we love Giuseppe.
They are the most uncomfortable shoe ever. I bought the last
$1,300.
Listen, I bought the last boot. Somebody bought it for me, and because Mary had.
Isn't that nice?
It was nice of him. It was nice
of him. So that's a good thing. You said
it was a good thing then. That was 7 years ago, and I bought them because then. So I bought them because I was your husband was nice enough to get me in with her for the fourth time probably. And I noticed she had these boots on.
Was
and I was like,
at Daly's place?
That was at her husband set up a little sidebar thing at a shootout club off of Bay Meadows. Some Bay Meadows they had at that time. It was horrible.
Oh my goodness.
But nevertheless, she came because Kendu told her, you get your ass there for 10 minutes or that's going to be your
He wasn't very nice.
He wasn't nice.
No shout.
So I see her with these boots and I fall in love. They're black and they have the diamonds on the rhinestones and everything. When I tell you, when I finally bought them and I wanted to stunt at the Jay-Z concert, I was in the most excruciating pain of my life. I need to sell the boot. I need to sell the boot, and I will sell the boot.
Please do. Why not? You'll really get some money.
You think so?
Oh yeah, you really will.
I need the money, guys.
Double it up.
I need the money.
Double it up. Yeah.
I need the money.
We got this.
Whew, I told you some of the expenses I have right now. Expenses.
Y'all want to know my
nobody
expenses?
Nobody wants to help with the expenses. I didn't ask anybody to help with the damn expenses.
Nobody.
Okay. John's like topics. So, Howard University cancels graduation due to venue reaching capacity.
That's not cool. No, Howard, no. HU, why would you do that to people?
Parents are mad.
Oh my God. People do so much to go to that school.
A lot.
It's like a staple because I know people like where we're from, like the tri-state area. That's like one of those colleges, like here in Florida, people want to go to FAMU and FSU. Howard is like our school.
Howard is
Howard is
our shit. But Howard, you're getting enough money. You could have had like 3 graduations if you wanted to. I understand keeping the light bill on, the lights on 3 times. And you're trying to just cram it into one time to cut them off, trying to save money. I get it.
Parents did all that work. Kids did all that work to graduate, and you do.
And they deserve a graduation because they made it. They made it.
That's really gonna. I was about to say a bad word.
Don't you say a bad word. That's my job.
That's really gonna mess up their
my fucking job.
For quite a long time. They're gonna be upset about that for a long time.
Well, just give them a graduation. At least they got the degree.
Give them the graduation.
Give them another one.
Do it. Howard, you want us to walk around going HU and all that good stuff? I have so many cousins that graduate from there. They got to graduate. Let these kids graduate in 2024. Come on now.
What about the people that was during COVID and didn't get a graduation at all?
Or prom.
You gotta get what you can get.
That was wrong.
Did they do proms in college?
No, but they did proms for high schools. They had no proms or graduations that year for all of them, for high schools and college.
So they didn't get to wear these wild Patti LaBelle hairdos and these long trills and sequins bathing suits and see-through clothes and driving somebody's borrowed Bentley or whatever the case is.
But still, that's fun. That's like your time, because some people only get dressed up for that. They may not get married. They may not be in the wedding. They may not ever go to a gala or a Grammys, or that might be their only time. So that is your time to shine at that age.
Dads, if you are buying your daughter a prom dress for over $5,000, and then you renting a car, and then she got to get her hair did, you get your hair did.
Not everybody pays all that.
No, they paying it. Then you got to get your nails done. Then you want to put nails on your feet too, and all of that. If you're paying all this money for a prom, you better hope she don't get married, because what you gonna pay for that?
Listen, I saw a parent locally just do a helicopter.
A helicopter.
Come on, man. That's a little much.
It's got to stop.
That's a little much. But it is a time to shine. It is your time to shine. Like, you never know when you'll get dressed up again. So I was not going to go to my prom, but I did. I used my grandmother's wedding dress. It fit me perfectly.
Okay.
I cut the bottom, used that bottom as a cape, had the little, it was fly. It was Chinese Mandarin style. It was fly. So it was very affordable because I had to pay for it out of my own pocket. Shoes, did my nails, did my hair, prom queen.
You was a prom queen?
1988.
What?
Yeah, playing for high school.
If I would have, that's congratulations. If I would have been the prom queen of my high school
with my grandmother's wedding dress,
the building would have just collapsed.
Yeah, it was fly.
You know why? I went to an all-white high school. That's why.
She went to all white. Oh,
like, what? Who picked her name? Mr. Stewart? Did Mr. Stewart for the music class do this?
We don't want to know about her and Mr. Stewart, do we?
No, I love Mr. Stewart. He was guy.
I had a favorite gay teacher too, Mr. Weigel, and he's still out there. He is fabulous. Oh my, he does everything. He's like in Greece and in Italy. He was the best teacher ever. One of the best teachers ever.
That's crazy. Can I tell you something? I'm a bad picker of men and dating, husbands, even teachers, all of that, because I find the nicest men, like Mr. Stewart was gay. I did not know that, until graduation when my friends told me. But I found myself falling in love with this older man. And I was like, oh my God, he gets me. He gets me.
With an older man.
He gets me.
At 17. It's okay.
I was 16, but
16.
He gets me. But and I was in love with Freddie Jackson too for a long time.
And we know about Freddie Jackson. She don't want to believe me, but
a long time. I love. Maybe it was the words. I could use a little loving right now. Whatever it was, rock me tonight.
He was not talking to us.
He wasn't. But I'm saying I'm so green. Like I just didn't know that stuff back then.
I think you did. You just, were giving it a little hope.
Damn, that's mean.
A little hope. A little hope.
Why don't you become a beard? Why don't you become a beard? Listen, I know.
I had a best gay guy friend. He was like, if you never get married, we'll get married. I was like, I was about to say okay about
and that's okay with me.
Because he had my back for real.
That's okay with me. I know some that have children together, but I mean, I will tell you something.
No children together, but
I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to say anything wrong.
That's why I stopped
drinking.
She mad.
That's why I stopped drinking.
Not that she makes you
but these days, you get in such a desperate mode. A man can come to you like, I've been married to a man for the past 5 years. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, y'all.
If you find love, people find your love.
Yeah, but then he wants to get with you. What would you say if a man said that to you?
He might have more protection.
What would you say if you knew a man was married to a man and then all of a sudden he's like, but it's something different about you. Something different about you, Monique, and I just want to be with you.
Would you rather him turn into, what's his name? Whatever, Jenner? whatever.
No, but he
gender,
was married
while
to a
he
man,
was-
but now
he
he
done
wants
had
to be
kids
with
with you
women.
and everything. Would
He
you rather that? Would you rather that?
He says he's not going to go back to being
He's not a nice looking woman, is he? She what?
Well, I know the men I dated are nice looking. So I think if I dated a man and he became a woman, he would be. I'd have competition.
I think if you're gay, be gay. Like chill, be gay and you gay. That's good.
I'd have
Like I
competition.
love me some down dudes that are like some of my best guy friends. Are definitely gay.
Wow.
But they really have your back, and
I have a
love
new
it.
one now.
They may have your back more than some females do.
I have a new one now, and I'm
a new one.
in love.
Oh, I think I have like two here. I found one a couple years ago. I have two, and they really have your back. They really do. It's just, it's very platonic. Of course, since we're going to get onto that subject, that's very platonic.
And then I've had friends that are metrosexual. Yeah. So I've had a best friend. Well, two. Lavelle, remember Lavelle? So Lavelle, for years, I'm going to say his name. It's okay. Hopefully, he's married now. He's changed his life. Thank God. But Lavelle for years would be the driver. He would be a rock. He would go to eat with us. He would drive celebrities. We did everything. We would go to parties. He was my plus one, my date. He was my everything. Because for a while, we thought, okay, well, you know what? He hasn't made a pass at anyone. It's okay.
They make sure you look good. They make sure, oh no,
everything.
You don't want to talk to him.
Everything.
He's trying to holler at me. Like they know how to break it down for you.
Until we found out that he wasn't, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna get dressed in here. You're gonna wait out there until it's time to go. But he was just the best friend ever.
Yeah,
love him dearly.
They're the realest.
Love him dearly.
Shout out to those dudes.
Yeah. You all need one. I had one when I was younger too, but we used to like.
I've always
we used to do sticking moves together. We was like ride or dies. Who's that song? The girl that I never know what she's saying. She's like, as long as you're juking. What's that? It's not Summer. Is it Summer Walker? We don't understand. It's one of those girls.
Yeah, we don't understand one of her songs, but I love her too.
I love Summer Walker, but she puts me in a depressed mode. I'm not lying. If I have a drink, if I have a drink and I take an edible, and I'm licensed, don't
maybe
judge
she
me.
should not take an edible and drink.
I said if water. If this is a show, and I listen to Summer Walker, I don't know who to feel sorry for, me or her at this point, because
what about Sizzler? Hers a little depressing.
Sizzler, that's who I don't know what the hell she's saying. As long as you're juking.
Oh, you don't want to know what she's saying. You really be like.
She's talking
about hiding bodies and everything.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I hide your bodies. What is that song? I hide your bodies.
That's not how it goes.
I'm still lose. Huh? How's it go?
You gonna make her sing?
You don't know the words. You don't know the rhythm. You don't know the bridge. What? That is not it. That is not it.
I can't lose with
the moment you are just a boy. Nobody but you. Oh, I can't lose. I touched the 5 for you. I killed 3 people for you. I do drugs for you. I know the words now. I do it all around the vine. As long as you took it from me,
I need some ice water.
Loving you,
This is hilarious.
killing you, stabbing you. It don't matter. As long as you're down with
your
me,
bodies.
I don't bother.
Hide your bodies.
I look really good under you right now.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, you can lose. If you're doing all that shit for a man, you're going to lose fast.
You losing a lot,
boo-boo. I thought I was losing. You're going to lose fast. I'm not killing people, at least.
Yeah.
Hiding bodies. I wouldn't even know where to hide a body, first of all. I can only lift with so much.
She would tell on herself, first of all.
I would.
She would definitely tell on herself.
Watching way too much ID, Cheryl.
I used to watch a lot of ID.
Now she's
and
on
that.
48. Now what does she watch? Tubi. Now she's on that Tubi.
What do you mean? Like take the concrete and say I'm changing the floors and dig a real hole down here at the entrance and put a starburst with my initial right there. And they go, oh my God, you put marble in the walkway. I sure did.
Oh, wait.
What's that odor though?
Next subject.
It's the cats that the buyer before me had.
No. 10 minutes. 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left.
I'm so mean. I'm not gonna say it. The pet people are gonna come get me.
I think that's not nice. That is not.
It's not. But if someone's mean to me, sometimes I just want to. I'm gonna put you in my floor with your cat.
Don't do that. Don't even say that.
They're birds.
No, not their bird. Nothing. None of that. Drink your tea. If there's
What,
tea.
what other
Is that
topic do
tea?
you have? It is tea.
You sure?
Oh, I'm very positive.
Let me see.
Well, Ja wasn't feeling well, and I
Okay.
was in the car with her. And then she started coughing in the corner, and I'm like, it's still your coughing.
Did y'all wear the mask in the car?
She has the mask. It's not an N. What is it? N what? N45. And what? It's my makeup color.
COVID approved.
It's her
Yeah,
makeup.
it's not
color.
makeup
It's her
color. It's
makeup.
N45.
Her
It's not COVID
Mac,
approved.
we like your makeup too.
But
We wouldn't mind you getting.
if that's what she wants to do, that's
colors.
fine. So I got to tell you this too.
Uh-oh.
I did a live Instagram.
Oh,
And it was great. And I was hanging out at a place called the Boulevard Bistro
nice.
with all my besties.
Nice.
All my besties in the Boulevard.
Nice.
And just having a great time. I'm in the music and they play Mary and they going hard. And they're like, oh, she's doing it. She's doing it.
Mary. Did she pick up her foot too?
I did that. I did everything.
Pick up her
I had patent leather pants on. I was like, kicking everything.
Ow,
And as I did this kick,
because it's like 70 degrees up
It was
north
beautiful.
right now, like 70
well, I
degrees.
did the kick and the blouse went down.
Oh, the squishies popped out.
And I was like,
That's boobs for y'all.
yeah, you know, and so I didn't do the sin to share or anything like that. So no one told me that they saw it.
Wow.
It was just one. But the kid at the table on the side, Jesus.
He was a girl.
I don't
or a
think
guy?
it was a little boy. I don't think he's ever going to be the same.
Well,
And then his mother, she doesn't even cover his eyes. So I think
that
she
might
was
be a good
suspect.
thing
She was
that he
like,
said
oh.
that. That might be a
She's
good
like,
thing.
oh, you're really feeling Mary.
Well, that's okay.
Well, I'm not feeling you. Not that Mary. Not that crazy about Mary, but.
How come this one like? Oh, there it is. I want a little bit of a smell.
You want a little bit of a smell? I was thinking.
No, it's just
You
There
ever
we
just
go.
do that? Like when I was younger, listen, I don't care. I'm fully transparent. Okay, I'm not now. When I was
As
younger,
we know, people,
my uncle would be like, "You need to go wash under your arms because as kids, you're musky. You're playing all day in the
your
Catholic
body's
school. We're running
changing.
around in our uniform. We're wearing the same shirts the night before because I didn't wash it out like I was told to do." And I'm like, "I smell musky." She's like, "Yeah, go wash under your arms. Get some deodorant on. Don't just put the deodorant on, Monique." And I'm like, "Okay, nice." Like, oh, I do smell.
Ew. Did you wash your fingers after that?
I don't think I was into washing fingers then.
Ew.
I don't think that was. She didn't tell me to wash fingers. She said, "Go wash under your arms, Monique."
Mm.
So when you told me stuff again, I was like a blonde. Whatever you told me, that's what I was doing.
The blonde in the audience said,
I'm just saying, if you say jump off the bridge, I'd be like the shallow part or the high part, and then when I get there, am I gonna die? Because I want to know. Because I believed anything you told me. Evidently, I still do.
okay.
Please go to the topic. I
So-
believe anything.
We're on the topics of New York fashion and all that. It's just a side note. Anybody ever seen the Al Pacino show on Prime Video?
Which one? I love Al Pacino.
Me too.
I love Al Pacino. When I tell you I love
The Hunters.
I have not seen it. I need to see
The
it.
Hunters.
Well, I love the younger Al Pacino.
or Robert De Niro.
No, it's Robert De Niro
Robert
that I
De
love. I'm
Niro.
getting my men mixed up.
Because they're both for the same era.
They both like black women?
And were both popular at the same time in New York, all that good stuff.
So
But the
Robert De
Hunters,
Niro,
what about him?
he used to date Will. You talking about fashion?
Yeah.
Willie Smith.
Yes, Willie Smith.
Sister.
Yes.
Tukey
Remember
Smith.
her? And I had some of her clothes.
Did you?
Yes, that's from my Aunt Donna because she used to do Women's World magazine, so I had all those clothes.
But what else you got for me in this cards, huh?
Trump and Biden.
Trump and Biden.
Y'all know I don't like politics, but yeah, Trump and Biden.
I love politics. In fact,
I
if you
don't.
want to advertise on iHeart for your political campaigns,
money.
please call me
money,
again.
money.
904-626-0081. I don't care who has my number.
Trump and
If
Biden.
you're gonna buy
I get
some
a
slots.
I get a Trump and Biden text message like every 10 minutes.
You know, it'd be cool.
Both of them. What do you think I'm buying?
I'm not gonna ask you anything about who you favor. Right now,
Both of them.
What do you expect to happen at the debate?
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think
Trump is gonna
your
go
boy
off.
is going to clown him like he always clowning
Yeah.
people because that's what he does. Trump he likes to clown. He's petty Betty like 50. He's like the white 50 Cent.
So listen,
He likes to clown people, and that's what's going to happen. And Biden's going to stutter.
Biden's
a little bit,
going.
He's gonna
It's just
stutter
gonna say, what
and-
day is it?
and that's what's going to happen. That's all we can think about. I mean, what do we expect?
I'm running for president again.
What do
Who
we
did this
expect?
shit?
What do we expect? Like, what do we expect for them to be so monumental and give so, debate so eloquently? No, they're going to be raunchy and rowdy, especially
Listen.
Trump.
The best debate.
And Biden is going to be like,
The best debate I've ever seen And I'm not a debate person, but at the time I was
You
dating
sure?
someone, and that type of debate. He loved to watch stuff that I had no interest in, but I wanted to play that part. So I was like, oh yeah, let's watch the debate. No,
She's a
So,
nice girlfriend.
I am a nice
obviously,
girlfriend.
people.
I
She's
was
a
a nice
nice
girlfriend. So I'm watching the debate. This particular time we were on the phone, we're talking about it, right? And I had an edible and a drink that night.
Oh boy, so that
And
was recently.
No, this was years ago.
Past 10 years.
No, before 5 years. So I started crying. I'm
From
laughing,
edible?
and then I'm
From
crying.
edible?
No, because I am looking. I'm high as a kite, and I'm looking at this debate, and I'm saying, "Oh my God!" I mean, I started texting Angela, everybody. I said, "I'm the only person in the world who's seeing this. Mike Pence has a fly on his fucking head."
That's so true. Everyone
And
saw it.
I didn't know
Everyone
that.
saw that.
But you know, when you're in that moment, you're thinking,
You thought
only
your
me.
edible and your drink.
I thought
had
the edible.
you-
I was seeing things.
had
I
you just
made
zooming.
memes for days, and I don't even know how to make memes. I had poop like the fly. I had super fly.
That was the craziest.
I was going at it.
That fly was crazy.
Listen,
So
right there.
I'm hoping something hilarious happens, because what can we expect? Like we said, one's going to clown one another and the other one's going to be like, eh. So what can we expect? We need something funny to happen.
I don't think, and I just hate to say it, I don't think Biden is strong enough to make it through
To battle with
debate.
Petty Betty? To battle with Petty Betty?
He right now couldn't be in a fucking spelling bee.
But listen, is it really even a battle? Because we can talk about Trump, and I don't agree with his policies.
But you agree with that wall, don't you?
I do agree with the fucking wall, so that's another
Damn.
subject. However, let me just say, they asked Biden the other day, he was on an interview of some sort, I don't remember which one, but they asked him the other day what he thought about what the American people were going through, right? Like financially. Shrinkflation is a real thing, where we're making less money and having to pay more for less food, and poor quality food, health
Poor quality.
all of this, gas prices are through the roof. And he said his response was, the people have the money to spend. So
It's crazy.
so and the other part of it is, and then you've got Trump, but when you look at them side by side, quite frankly, it's not as publicized with Biden because he's in the White House. They both committed the same types of crimes.
They did.
I mean, so let's just call a spade a spade. They're both crooks and criminals. So
I guess it's saying in the audience that Trump and Biden, the guest is saying it's not me. Not me. I'm barely making ends meet as it is. I don't want somebody to take my job tomorrow and say, well, you're talking about my orange guy.
Cry.
But she says they're both criminal and crooks, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that answer is total bullshit.
I think all politicians
Bullshit.
are crooks.
I don't think all politicians are crooks, and I'm going to leave it there because I have a couple of friends that are politicians. One was, the vice senator, and I believe and still believe in that person.
Yeah.
I think she's a phenomenal woman, and I just feel that because politics is bullshit, she was not given the fair
Big
chance
bullshit.
that she
Big
really
bullshit.
deserved. And when the shit hit the
I know
road,
who you're talking about.
they threw her under the fucking bus.
Because she was brown.
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
We know about her.
Yeah, and I think that was
cool.
wrong.
But
It was Rick. Oh, Ricky boy, you look like you're suffering from some type of rare disease, but you keep going.
All these clowns popping up, and we support them for some odd reason. People.
I support it. I support it.
So we're going to leave soon. So log back in because Instagram will shut us down.
Log back in on your Instagram.
Log
I don't
back on
think we made it
Instagram.
to YouTube tonight.
I don't know, but we will load
We
it
did?
up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
load
great.
it up if not. So
Okay, great.
The BestTea
And
Show.
we're coming back with a phenomenal guest. This one we'll let you introduce yourself, and the topic is right on point. I don't think we're
love
going to
this
get through
topic.
it. Yeah.
I'm so glad you said yes, Ja.
I did not say yes. So when the topics,
Ja
what
said
happens
yes,
normally
she said
is
yes.
normally Ja will pick the topics that we'll talk about. We'll try to take the opportunity to send some things too. Kira was proactive, and was like, she just said she must have been on the toilet one day and was like,
I said like 20 million
and she was just going at it like, ugh.
Topic. I wasn't shitting people. I wasn't.
Well, whatever
shitting.
you were doing, it worked. It worked.
I was chilling, and she was like, "What should we talk about?" And I was like, "Oh." My head just started.
It worked.
It was one of those days.
The topic they picked about being platonic and relationships, and I'm reading and I'm watching them as I'm working and I'm seeing everything go back and forth. And honestly, I'm going to tell you what I said to myself. I said, I don't want to do this shit. I've contemplated just giving the guest the chair. Because I think that I know that the wrong thing will come out of my mouth. And so it just.
So why don't you just be quiet for a little while?
That's what I'm going to do.
You should be quiet for a little while. We'll see what we have to talk about. And you should count to 5 before you answer.
I mean, it's nothing negative because I'm not bitter or angry.
You
But
saw that finger, right?
but I just think that some things are sore subjects for me.
Mm.
And I love the advice that our guest does give me personally as a friend.
Mhm.
It makes more sense than it should make sometimes, and that's scary. But sometimes you need a voice. Like sometimes
you
I'm
need
voice.
that outside person.
Yeah, it's just like not like my friend today that was like, you know, he's cheating on you, right? You know that's why he broke up with you, so he could be with another woman.
We're gonna stop talking
Yeah.
about him. We're giving him too much energy.
No, we're gonna give the energy because that's the composition of my show, and I'm always gonna beat a man up if you beat me up. Period.
We're gonna stop giving
Period.
him energy.
No, you stop giving the energy.
That's you giving him energy. That's your ex.
No, you stop.
You stop.
I'm gonna keep it
scared,
going.
You scared.
I'm gonna put all of you,
You
you cowardly lions.
He sucks.
To the test.
He sucks too bad to give him any energy. Yeah,
Be a lion.
We're done with him.
Yeah.
I want to see the whiz.
Anyway, though, so that's why I said I wasn't gonna talk too much on the subject.
Well, maybe something good will come out of this.
I don't think so.
So optimistic.
I don't think so. So
Drink
let's
your tea.
wrap it
Drink
up,
her tea.
and
Drink her tea.
I'm gonna drink my tea. I'm gonna drink my tea.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't add anything to it.
I'm like really like.
Don't add. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. Just sip your tea. Just sip.
So
we're leaving. We're coming right back. 2 seconds. YouTube is still there.
Still 2 besties and one hot sip. So
well, it's gonna be a hot sip.
it's gonna be real hot because this guest is
She said she got that red hot. Red hot.
You're so angry. I love it. You're so angry, boy.
She is.
So
love
are we
it.
ready to bring our guest on? Let's get you nice and comfortable.
One
Let's
Let's
get her
second,
comfy.
one second,
I'm
guys.
sorry.
I want to get her comfy.
Justin.
Because that's a lot of pillows right there.
We're just standing right.
Justin.
Let me.
Smart water. I need some water, but that's the old cup from last week with lipstick on it. So I'm gonna use the bottled water back
Is
again.
this one? Is this one good? Is this one clean?
That's clean, but the other one is not, and I don't want to be bossy. Say, hey, can you
Did she just do what I said not to do?
Thank you.
She just popped that in there, and I said not to do that. No, more for her.
You guys are still live on YouTube.
We're still live on YouTube.
And you
Okay.
saw her sneak that drink in there when I said,
No
"Don't
one
do
snuck
it."
anything. Oh, we got us. What do we call it? What do you call people when they snitch? Snitches?
Yeah.
No, I ain't snitch. It's on camera.
You're snitching.
It's on camera. Justin, you
Hey,
got
everybody,
to
welcome
give
back
that
to the
her.
BestTea Show.
Hey,
Besties, one hot sip.
she's
We
snuck it in.
have our guest,
Come
Miss
on
Carrie,
in,
baby.
Come on, in.
Come on and join us here. Woo, you want to sit in here. You listen, you can jump the pillows up, whatever makes you comfortable.
Well, we just need like.
Ever. Yeah, just put these here.
Because they're pretty.
This is part of my
That's
Met
perfect.
Gala.
Her pillow. Her pillow dress.
How are you today, Carrie?
I'm good.
I think I'm having a hot flash.
Well, the air was off, so you
What, did you put the air on?
No, I know. I told
These
Riley
people
to
try
do
to save so much money in this studio. Cheap bitch
it.
owns
I
it.
told Riley to do it,
Cheap.
but she's like,
Oh,
"No,
God.
I'm not going to do it because no." said,
I
"Turn
wish
it
she
down."
would because I'm melting.
I know, well,
I'm
So
You know,
shout
like,
out to
I mean,
everybody tuning in.
And tuning back in.
Tuning back
That's
in
a big
to our
deal.
second hour.
Yes.
We have our special guest. I talk about her a lot in a good way. I'd like her to introduce herself to you and her beautiful self. Miss Carrie, can you turn to the viewers and let them know about you and who you are?
Sure. I'm Carrie Thompson. I have known both of you guys a long time, right?
Love you
Long
long
time.
I
time.
love you long time.
Love you long
Um,
time.
I own a
Listen, I
marketing
love you long
agency
time.
here in Jacksonville. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. to be
You
here
wear many
today.
hats.
I do wear many hats.
Can everyone hear her? Do we need to pass
Am I
the mic to
talking?
her?
Can y'all hear me?
Because I can pass the mic like DJ Cassidy.
I think you should probably give the mic to her.
I can do that.
You can
Okay.
pick up on both.
Would you like to re-mic?
So you could put it on the, maybe put it on the.
I
Or
can, yeah,
here?
sure. I can put it right here. How about that?
Is that better?
I think that
I can
is.
lean in.
Because you talk nice.
I do talk loud, but I'm not talking.
I
You're
didn't
talking.
say loud. I said you talk out like
Oh, okay.
So-
How's
Okay.
that? I'll lean.
So, Carrie, you've given me over the years of time. We have a lot of similarities.
Don't we though?
Uh-oh.
In our life. How we were raised and and a lot of similarities when it comes down to relationships. And I won't get into your personal business. I only like to talk about my personal business because I can handle it, tough skin. But a lot of similarities and things that we need in relationships, things that we look for, things that we have a hard time getting out of. It's easy people to always say, "Oh, let's not give this energy and let's not do this," but I give it the energy because it's how I cope. That's my coping mechanism.
Well, it's your coping mechanism, but you're also, well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. So, but with the topic that we're talking about today, we thought that you'd be perfect to kind of chime in because you've had some experiences that we have both experienced, whether it be marriage, whether it be dating.
Sure.
Spot on. So do you want to start with Carrie?
No, let's talk about, so we're talking about platonic relationships. Like, are there platonic relationships? Can you deal with them? Can you not deal with them? So it's out there, but how are they dealt with? So we want to get on those topics.
So I would clarify, is that if you're married, can you deal with if you're
Both.
in a relationship?
Both.
And just in general, can you be just friends?
You can you can work with them, or is it platonic?
Can you just have a platonic guy friend?
Can
But
you?
then separately in
Not
a
a
relationship.
gay guy friend.
I would like to talk, I think I would like to talk about the topic if you're in a relationship. Can you have a platonic guy friend? Sure. I have plenty of them. I don't know. I do. I have plenty. I tend to hang around guys more frequently than women.
So no sex involved
At all.
at all.
Ever. No. These are my dudes. They're like people that I've spent a lot of time with. I know their fiancés, wives, girlfriends, their kids, their families.
And their families are okay with you being friends with them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not because I'm just friends with a guy. If they're with the female knows me. She knows who I am. I'm not shirking behind the scenes. I would never do that.
I'm sorry, what's that? Shirking?
Shirking.
What's that word? Is that a new word?
It is a new word. No, that's actually an old one.
The trap
What does
talking
that
us
mean?
tonight.
No, that's not a track talk. That's like I'm shirking. Like you hear people say I'm shirking my responsibilities. It's kind of like I'm, not.
Yeah.
So they're moving. I'm not moving. I mean, it's all relative to their relationship. I have a friendship with someone. If there was a problem that it was creating in their relationship, then I would really have to reevaluate because it's not for me to be in a space. It's for the two of you to decide how your relationship is going to work. That's not for me. I'm an outsider to your relationship. So if at some point you felt like maybe there should be a different relationship between the two of us and you're the female, then that's for the two of you to discuss. And I would respect whatever your decision was because I need to respect your relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I mean, I'm just talking about in the friend
No, I mean
space,
it makes.
Have you
total-
ever been in a space where a
It makes
girl,
sense.
like, I could use an example, but I'm going to be quiet about it, Riley, that we were just talking about on the way over here.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, so recently,
Because I was raised by her. So I have issues with dudes and other females because they don't understand how I was raised. So when I talk to a dude, they're like, oh, they're trying to flirt, they're trying to do this. I'm like, no, like,
they're just
he's
my
my
friends.
homeboy. Like, I would never go any further.
Yeah,
But Carrie, you seem like you have I see it on your face. What's your feeling on that?
I'm thinking there's been plenty of times where
That's saying a low battery.
what says low battery?
No, it's okay. Not
Okay. You either hear or you see or you work with someone and then you end up hearing someone say, oh, that's my work husband or my work wife.
Sure.
And people think it's okay. And they play it off, like poo-poo it off. But is there really something going on? And I've heard plenty of stories where there's always something going on in a so-called platonic relationship. So can there be a relationship
So
where
have
you
you
work
never
so
had a friend that's a guy that you've never had something going on with?
Many of them.
Oh, but you're just saying other people's
Yeah.
experiences.
I'm just saying what I've seen
what you've heard.
Right.
But you've experienced platonic relationships.
yeah, well, in my past, no. I've worked with someone very close and it ended up not being platonic.
But I mean, I'm saying, in all of your time, have you had guy friends that you are not in a relationship? Sure. I mean, I think it's really, again, I go back to, it's really whatever your relationship boundaries are as a couple, if you're in a relationship, first of all, in any kind of relationship, no matter which side of the table you're on, it's about the boundaries the two of you set.
Okay. Do you think you can be platonic after sex. Like, let's say you were in a relationship with this man, just as in general for all women, not just us.
Now, can I be? Yes.
Can you be
Is it
platonic
appropriate?
after the fact?
Who knows?
After the fact.
It depends on if it's, can I be? Sure I can. Is it appropriate? That's a different conversation. So can I be platonic? Sure. In my relationship though, if my partner would be uncomfortable with that platonic relationship, then it shouldn't be happening.
No more friends after that.
If that's what it takes.
Right.
Because if it threatens the current relationship that I'm in, and I value the person that I'm with.
Same for you guys.
If you value the person,
If you value the
then
person you're with.
listen, people make mistakes, right? Let's just call a space fake. Cheating happens. I hate to say it, but we're human. Shit happens. However,
after 3 times, you're out.
well, and maybe
Should be.
maybe
Should have been before that, but you know.
But again, think about that.
People
So
give them chances.
it's really about, in each relationship is different. I mean, so, you know, it's about the boundaries that the two of you have set. But again, if one party of that feels uncomfortable, right? So let's say we were friends before you got a girlfriend or I got a boyfriend, right? Okay. Well, we probably operate slightly differently now because we're in couples.
That's a question coming up.
Okay. We're slightly different in couples. So how you maneuver that really depends on the boundaries that the two of you have set as a couple.
What if it was never set and it just happens? You know what I mean?
It can just happen.
It just happens. And then now you're stuck with that relationship. Well, you're friends with them. Well, I was friends with them before I met you. You know, that type of issue that has happened in plenty of relationships.
But then I would ask the person who is fighting tooth and nail, who has
You must
had
not
an
trust, they must not
indiscretion.
trust you or you must not trust them. I
Correct.
think
But if you've had an indiscretion,
that's
right?
the issue.
But my partner feels uncomfortable.
Thank you.
It is time
To let it
for
go.
you to cut the ties. And I am sorry that you made a mistake.
Yeah.
But if I don't feel comfortable, excuse me, then you're not valuing my feelings. So I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to be in that space. I mean, that seems like a very one-sided approach.
It is, mostly guys.
And also too, if there's such an important person in your life, then before y'all get your relationship, you'll know who this person is. Like, they're not just gonna hop out of the woodworks and be like, oh, I know them.
That's in a perfect world, that's true.
Mhm.
But yeah, sometimes that does not happen.
It's very messy.
Lou, what are your questions? You don't want to use them?
Yes, I have plenty of questions. I did want to comment on that. You said something that was really important. So I know you jumped into it like platonic relationships or platonic friends, and I think it's a little bigger than that. So most of us have opposite sex friends. Like I have a lot of men that are my friends that think I am one of the freaking guys.
Right.
My kids think I'm one of the guys sometimes, you know.
Yes.
But and it means nothing. But when we talk about being in a sexual relationship or being with someone for years, one, and then something goes wrong and then you're platonic and you're just friends, I think that without getting too into anything, there needs to be a healing process first before you can go back to the friendship. If it was not mutually beneficial and it was not both agreed upon. If someone makes a decision for you and for the relationship without considering, well, this is what I'm thinking, what do you think? Do you agree? But they say, no, this is what it's going to be. Then I think that would be hard to then be platonic with them for the simple fact that now you're dealing with someone who they shift all the time. So then that's not a good thing. And I think from the other half of being platonic with someone that maybe you used to be with, there's a chance that you can still be friends with them too. If you're not in love with them anymore.
That's hard. If you're not in love,
you can still love them, but not be in love. But one
with
thing that you said, for me, and I had to realize this after, being married, and then my kids had lived with my ex at one time while I was, going through breast cancer. And I found myself falling into a position of running over there to do laundry, running over there to cook, and just do things constantly. For someone that literally had given me their ass before. But I felt, I didn't want the kids to come back home right away because I was going through what I was going through.
Right.
And secondly, I felt like, I have to make sure that my sons eat and that this stuff is done. And my sister pulled my coattail. Alicia was like, listen, you have a whole man in a relationship that you're involved in.
Yeah.
Whether he says something or not, It is not a good look and it is not good.
How does he feel?
And you
Right.
know that you don't want this with you. And I said, oh, he's been around us. He knows stuff. He says, doesn't matter. So I cut that. And then I had a taste of my own experience going through the same thing with this person. And not because I cut my ex-husband off in the sense and stopped doing things over there. I realized that what I had was so much more important than the kids' laundry, than the kids' food, shit, Uber up
Sure.
something to eat. I realized that if in any way, even if it wasn't spoken on, it made my partner uncomfortable, it wasn't even worth the non-conversation
Yeah.
for a conversation in the future.
Mhm.
So it had to be
Because
cut.
all that anger gets stuck. It gets stuck in
But-
there. Yep.
It does not mean that it's always reciprocated
True.
and understood in the same fashion and manner. And that's all I'm going to say.
True.
Yeah, because this is a little too serious for me, and I like to be fun.
So jumping off of that, you kind of went straight into this. Do you think that you can be in love platonically? Can you really love your friends on a deep, loving level platonically before or after that? Can you?
After a sexual relationship with them?
That's for same sex too.
Restate the question because I think I
You
That's
said for
the
same
same.
sex.
That's
Am
the
I have
same.
if I'm having sex with the same sex?
Some
Female.
people,
It
some
doesn't-
people feel deep platonic love for their girlfriends or for their male friends to where like they're really like.
But we're not sexual.
No.
Oh no, I love. Like I always joke now and say I'm in a gay relationship. Really. Because I have a female bestie and we've both been through so much in the past year that it just makes me cry sometimes. And I cry because I never want to hurt like she hurt. And I know vice versa, she doesn't want me to hurt like this. But when her hurt happened first, I was kind of like, oh my God, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And it just made
You
me
wanted
have,
to protect her. You wanted to.
I did.
Yeah.
and both, I have two girlfriends that I'm just like what's happening that we're these great women and, like Kimmy said on the show, what's wrong with you then, But, it's kind of like almost you start to find someone that you can pour into. You find someone that has the same likes as you. So, you eat ice cream all night. I have a Tubi fetish. This person may like black entertainment television. I don't know.
Like you can have plenty of friends, but there's that one that is.
And I have a couple.
Your soulmate, your sister, soulmate.
But that for me is like, I think because of the fact that we are both going through different trauma at the same time, it's a little more impactful because not saying we're sad together, but we're happy together, if that makes sense. And the things that I used to hold on to and places I used to want to wait and go with my male partner, and just to hear, that's too long for riders. Men, they have their own quirks about travel and things.
Yeah.
I get it. But now I don't even want to go with a man on some things anymore now. I just don't. It doesn't even cross my mind to want to.
And it's not sexual. At
Yeah,
all.
I don't want to even be sexual with a man at this point because it's a turn off from not so much the past. I don't live in the past, and you cannot fix the past. I don't care what you say or what you're thinking. You cannot fix your past. You can only prepare yourself for the future and make the best out of the present situation. Period. There's nothing wrong about what I'm saying. Truthfully, you have to worry about living in the present. It is a gift. That's why we call it a present. It is here. But at the same time, I don't have the desire to lay up underneath a man. I don't have the desire to kiss a man because you know what? If someone was deserving of all of those things, then I wouldn't be going through half of the things that I'm going through. And friends, platonically, men, exes, whoever it may be, the ones that want to still be in that corner and in your presence, they see what you're going through. They know what you're going through. I've experienced some things recently that are not so good health-wise. For one thing, I cosmetically wanted to fix turned into, that ain't your problem no more. It's something else. And it has made me sick to the stomach where I want to throw up in the morning and wake up at 4:00 because I can't even share it with the person that I would normally share this with.
Who
I
was
can't-
with you before?
Yeah, and I can't even get that comfort because they don't even realize that I'm going through things that are really not great. Okay. And so for that, it's, you know, it's taken away, you know, how something takes away the taste. You eat food, but then there's no taste to it, or you're just not hungry.
Chemo does that.
It's like a mourning process almost. And so because of that, I'm not angry, I'm not bitter, but I am going through something internally because I trusted and it didn't work. So yeah, you can have platonic friends. Yeah, you can be friends with people, but I don't even care for that right now from a man. I'm like, Justin, you're cool, it's different. We work together. From men that don't want anything from me, I can be platonic all day. But if you're saying we're gonna be platonic, but then every now and then you're like this or
Touchy
it's like
feely.
that, like we need to have an
Stop
understanding. I already told you, if we are having sex, we go together.
We go together. You about to.
If we having sex and you can't totally commit, you better commit to something. Okay? You have to commit to something. And some would call it, you know, things that they just are uncomfortable with doing at the time. Will talk to me and tell me what you are comfortable with doing. Because what we're not going to do is take the candy from the candy jar and you didn't put the fucking nickel in there. Period.
25 cents.
And that's old school. Because you know the box is way more than a nickel now.
Way more.
Way more. So like should you let go of, well, we already talked about that. Once you're in a relationship, you talk about that. If it's not fair to the other person. And I totally agree with you on that. So I mean, when we talk about being platonic, it just kind of hits me differently. I love my friend. I love my male friends.
But I'm just going to say something though.
Go ahead.
In the space of platonic, not platonic, past relationship, you know, you and I talk about this a lot. So, or have talked about it a lot. Are you really hurt because you were so in love with this person? He who will remain unnamed. Okay.
Always.
Were you so in love with this person, or were you so in love at the thought and potential of what this person could be and what your life would be like if he only did the things that he was supposed to do that you've written out basically in blood at this point and still couldn't get a different response? So are you mourning the person, or are you mourning the idea of that person and what that life could have been when you were the only one working for it? And I'll just ask you that question.
Wow, that's deep.
Well, you just went really deep. Where you just
Yeah.
took us was down.
Yeah,
a rabbit hole.
I guess this is therapy because the therapist has not called me back yet before surgery. So
We got you, boo.
Yeah. So I think it's a combination of both, to be
I
fair.
think that is fair.
I think that I've always been looking for something different. I've always been looking for that nurturer because I never really knew what that was like from a male figure.
That's fair.
And I kind of felt like I was in a dark place when I first met the person. But it brought light to the tunnel.
I think so.
A lot of light. And you know, they say people are around for a reason this season. I totally get it. Everyone's story is different. So you're not going to tell me that season's up until I say it's up. That's just me. That's the stubborn Taurus in me. But I'm mourning the loss of the relationship because of the difference they brought to the table and the different things that I was able to do. But to be fair, I am devastated of what I thought I could finally have
I know.
in a fucking relationship.
I agree.
Right.
I
When
agree.
you think you're like, when you're just this close to, okay, it's not the kids, it's not the job, it's not the finance, it's not the bill collectors, it's not the past medical bills, it's not the future health issues, it's not the past health issues. This is something that is solid. So no matter what, all this shit could be in tobaccos. You could call me all fucking day about what I owe you, the doctor bills. You can tell me all day, hey, you got to charge back out your commission check. You can tell me all day you didn't make enough last year. How are you going to pay this bill? You can't pay your CDD off. You know, you can juggle your properties. How are you going to get all these things done? And everything. Social Security, scam artists. You can tell me I owe them $88,000 all day and I have to pay them $100, $300 a month. That's my life. That's my reality.
Scammers.
And that's the shit that they do to people. Old people and minorities. I hate to say it.
They do.
But all that shit could be happening. But if you have a rock, and I teach this to my children religiously, I said, I don't care what you do, where you go, what you want to be. The foundation has to stay solid. If the grass has to get cut, if you're running something up and the air conditioner's leaking, it's going to break. if there's plumbing issues, these things have to be addressed, not when the later comes, or not when the income tax comes, or not when I get paid. But some of these things have to be addressed immediately, because you can't have a foundation that's falling apart underneath you and you're getting ready to fall. So I miss and mourn the person for what they did bring to the table and the light that they did give me. But I am devastated.
But I'm going to say one thing about the
I'm
light.
not, okay.
The light changed.
The light
Keep
changed.
going.
The light changed. But I'm devastated even more about the possibility of thinking that I could have had a solid piece in my life for once, something that was stable, not going to move, and be able to still handle all the other parts.
So I'm going to say one thing right now.
Go ahead.
He moved 3 times in your relationship. There is not stability there.
3 times you're out.
3 times, just personally.
3 times you're out.
We talked about that recently, right? So when I look at you, so maybe this is a better way to say this. When I look at you, just like you would tell me the same thing,
Mhm.
I don't see you continuing to go through the same things that you've been through over and over again, because you're fighting to prove your value and worth to someone who is never going to get it, who never got it when you were in the relationship, who, while they were there, and that's very appreciated, right? Because that was a time period in which you really needed it.
Mhm.
That light changed very quickly.
There's no YouTube. Mhm.
And there's been stuff that relationship has been on a different path for a while, right? And while there is love there, and I am sure there is plenty of love, it's not what I would want for your life.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say about that. But you would tell me the same thing.
I would tell you both the same thing. I would tell anyone I know the same thing. When my friend went through it, both of, my best friends, had similar situations, one very far worse than the other. And I think the most upsetting thing about that is that I know the caliber. I know that, being a New Yorker and my personality as a tourist, I'm very strong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a true bull. And I know some of my ways, and we talked about this, can be very harsh, and my tone can be very demanding. But it all comes from such a place of love.
But the right man will never be bothered by that.
Period. That's what I said a couple shows ago. The right
The
man
right
would
man
not
would
be bothered.
never.
He would be
The thing
fine
that
with
he
that.
would be bothered most by is your hyper independence. That
He
would bother
yes.
him the most, because you have to allow a man to lead, right? Which for women
You want to be in that.
is a really hard place to be when you're used to pushing the envelope
Yeah,
forward,
doing
right?
it all.
So, and that can be circumstantial, can also be by choice, because we have our own traumas that create hyper independence. I mean, we're hyper independent not because we want to be.
I don't want to be.
Maddie. We're hyper independent.
The
not
right
because we
man
wanna
would make
be.
sure you're
Yeah,
in your
but let me tell you
fem
something.
and
And
be-
like my sister says, and you could be with the so-called right man, and you'll still be the person that's doing everything. But I don't want to be. I don't listen to me. Call it what you want to call it. I don't want to be paying all these damn bills, just the ones I create. I want someone to come in one day and say, pack your bag. I want someone to say, do the grass and there's no bugs and let's just sit outside and have a picnic. I want someone to say, if they don't have it, this is what I can do. And just do a simple gesture of flowers. A fucking tax, goddammit.
But listen, I'm going to say this, and this has been the hardest thing for me to deal with, and people may or may not agree. If that's the type of love that I want, then I must love myself that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't love myself that much, people are going to love me as much as I love me, right?
Yeah.
So if I love myself less, they can love me less. If I love me more and a whole lot more, and every time someone upsets me, I take that same energy, whatever I would have done towards them, and put it into me.
Yeah.
And I remind myself, because listen, we have to talk to ourselves, right? I remind myself frequently, how much I love me. Because if I keep telling myself, eventually I'm really going to believe it, right? But we can only be loved as much as we love ourselves. Now,
Yes.
I
mind you, in some relationships,
I don't agree with that always.
well, I'm going to ask you then.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me why.
No one loves me more than me. I celebrate myself every chance that I possibly can. And although I get what you're saying, I don't love me enough to deal with the bullshit that I've been dealing with for
Correct.
all these years.
Now listen, you celebrate
this is
yourself.
years and years and years and years, and I don't live by that.
Right.
I celebrate myself as much as I can because guess what? No one else is going to fucking do it.
And that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
But
But
are
again-
we giving anyone the chance to
Yes.
celebrate us?
Oh, am I not giving people the chance or the opportunity to celebrate me?
Well, I mean, I celebrate you, but
I mean, I know you do, but I'm just
We're
saying.
in my own
We're
way.
talking
We're talking about in
but-
relationships.
No, no,
About
just-
relationships, guys.
do you give them the space?
Do I give them the opportunity to celebrate me, to do for me, and just
Do you
Yeah,
give
you
them
do.
the opportunity to let you sit back and be that flower and they water you?
So because again, let's talk about, I mean, like we can really go down a rabbit hole on masculine and feminine energy, right? But the piece that I would say to you is men are natural leaders. I wish we had a guy on the panel tonight. Men are natural leaders, right? I don't have to tell a man to lead. That is innate in him. In most men, men also come with trauma, right? So if they're not leading, they're coming with, we all come with something, right? But if that's the type of man that you really, really want, I mean, if that's really the end all be all, he's probably going to be very different from what you're attracted to. Typically.
Yeah.
But now let me
Like
stop
that
you. No,
cutie guy, you were like, I don't like his shoes, but he was fine.
I didn't like his
He
shoes.
was
That's
fine.
okay. No, but I'm
I
saying-
didn't like his shoes, but I followed that for once in my life. And so this is what I think that a lot of you miss in the show. It's not about me. It's coming out of me for some reason.
No, it's not about you.
I
But
think what a lot of times what you guys miss in that is so gut wrenching, making me sick is I've always dated a certain type of man. You had to be this tall man, whether you were light or dark. You had to be in sports, or you had to be entertainment, or you had to have your own business, and a couple of them. Like I've always been this, like I had to have a certain look. When I was married, I creating a certain look that I had wanted for myself and my then husband at the time. From how we dressed, from how we
Right.
talked, from books that we were on, just all these different things I did, all for someone else to come behind me and say, oh, thinking it was the man, but no, it was all me. And so I did something totally different. I wish Sherry was on the panel today. I did something that I just said, this is not for me. This is not what I'm going to do because I've never done this before. And I'm going to get bored. Or I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. And I'm going to get off this after this for
no,
today.
you're fine.
And then after all of that,
She's gonna get off of it.
I'm going to get
After
off of it.
today.
I didn't say after today. And don't dare stop me. Don't dare stop me of telling me about energy I'm giving anyone. Tell me what I shouldn't do because I'm going to do it as long as I want to do it,
I know she will.
as long as I need to do it.
She will.
And when I feel the need to stop, whether it's ex-husband, whether it's an ex whoever,
You ain't saying his name.
when I feel the need to stop, that's when it stops. When I feel the need not to discuss it anymore, that's when it stops. We find another topic. But again, I have to remind people constantly, this show is based on, for me, my relationship and the fact that I had this breakup. And when I hear people say, and I hear people say, my aunt made a comment, when you give people power, it doesn't matter. If this is how I cope, and this is how I release, and this is why this show was created. The show was created to have, aside from a married person, but aside from someone who thought they was in something that was going to be married eventually, or have a life partner with someone, and the whole fucking bottom drop like the ride in Coney Island. Let's
Stop it.
No.
No. Listen, we speak from a place of truth around here.
That is the truth.
The bottom did not fall out.
Okay, well, the bottom, you said bottom, but let me go back. I didn't say what's going on
Again, it's
now.
how you
But Carrie,
perceive this.
this is what the show was based on.
Oh, no. Okay.
Let's get back
Fair
to the
enough.
question.
Fair enough.
That's what it was based
Fair enough.
on. So when I hear people say, oh, you're repeating this, or you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing that, you can say it all day, but I want you to stop saying it because I want you to remember, like Ja always says, go back to your cards, you're getting off subject. I have to always reel into it because there are women like myself.
Sure.
There are women who are
Same
not
thing.
as strong as me. And I'm strong and I've gone through a lot. Who may not even deal with it in this way. Who may deal with it with pills or suicide. Who may deal with it with depression or drinking their life away.
Or they might get 10 others.
But listen,
Or they
I
might
think-
get 10 other dicks and catch AIDS. I don't
Listen,
know, but that's
well,
not where I'm
let's
at.
be honest.
No,
That's not
You
what,
are
no, that's not where I'm
handling
at.
this completely differently this time.
I am.
Let's be honest.
I
mean,
am.
It's not the same repeated pattern.
It's
So,
not.
It's not.
It's
You're in
not.
a totally different space.
I'm in a totally different space because one of conversations that we've had. Two, being totally transparent, I'm in a totally different place because of this fucking show. because I'm able to speak my mind. So when you say things like, oh, don't give this, or Kim says, oh, don't say this, that, fuck y'all when y'all say it. And that's from the bottom of my heart. This is giving me
I say
my
fuck that
voice.
dude.
That's not the point. The point is, this is giving me my voice. I don't say fuck your husband or your recent. I don't say fuck your husband or your past people that have fucked over y'all. So if this is my way of handling it, don't try to take that away from me. And if somebody else has an issue and you're a fucking friend and they're going through something, it's okay to give advice. My sister gives the worst advice, the most hurting advice. Carrie gives the most hurting advice, but it's the real shit that I need to hear. But at the same time, don't take away my voice. And when I have friends that go through this, even if I don't want to hear what the fuck they got to say, I put the phone down like, I hear this shit for an hour about this nigga who's married or cheated or blah, blah, blah. But as a friend, I'm like, I have to let them vent. So be very careful. And I'm not saying you guys, because I know where it's coming from.
Oh, no, I don't care if you
But
talk about it. I think it's very relevant.
Be very careful with how people out there that are watching, how you deal with breakups, how you deal with people that's going through a divorce, how you deal with people whose husbands are cheating on them, how you deal with people whose husbands have died, how you deal with people whose boyfriends have died, and they are left alone to try to say, oh shit. And it's easy to say, get 10 more. It's easy to say, go fuck another guy and you'll feel much better.
No, you won't.
Because you will not feel better. And it won't, and well, for me, I don't know. I have friends that it makes them feel better.
You don't even want to see a guy.
But I don't even want to,
you want to have nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just at a point where I don't want it from anybody.
Right.
Not him, because you don't know what you know what I'm talking about. Get that shit together. Totally. Because we won't even be platonic. But I'm saying, yeah, like, come on, dude. Really? Huh.
Well,
Should have left some flowers with the doorman. But I'm saying that to say, be careful with how you handle those
I just heard what you
around
said.
you.
Right. I think that's fair.
Because sometimes, and I'm very brutal and honest, but sometimes that could take a person to the end of the road. And I know that's not me. Because I have outlets. This is an outlet.
Well, some people don't know how. Some people don't know how. They think that what they're saying is right. Like you said, an aunt or a friend or a cousin or whatever. Some people think that's the best thing to say because you might say that to them. So they're thinking it's okay to go back and forth or for people to say the same things. I've had some people tell me some horrible things and you just handle it with a long spoon. Like, okay.
But the truth is, though, any conversation, if I'm telling you something and I am brutally honest, only because I know this about myself as well. It's not, this is not.
I know, it's like you and I are like looking in the man in the mirror. You're white, but I'm black, or I'm really white and you're black.
And so it comes from a place of, so again, I'm going to back up and I'm going to include me in this, but we see the red flags early on. We knew there were 17 million red flags when we entered either relationship. Listen. And we just kept turning them pink, making them yellow, saying it's not really red. I have on the wrong glasses today.
Listen to me.
And when we don't stop that madness,
you're right. We know what a marriage is, we know relationships.
And everything.
The craziest meme I ever see on Instagram that one of my besties sent me is a lady saying, God, if this man is not for me, please send me a sign. And a car comes crashing through her window.
Right.
And Kelly says to me, well, if the car crashed through your window, would you get it? I'd be like, no. I'd be like, are you a drunk driver? I was just praying to God about the man, and you did this shit. Now I gotta pay for something else.
Nope.
That wasn't it, was it, Jesus?
That was.
I don't think that was it.
We don't get those signs. We always give someone an extra. Okay, they're human. Let's give them another try.
That's a good characteristic to have too, right? Because we believe that people have it in them, right? Because we typically want more for people than they want for themselves. And so we know they're capable to change, to do all the things.
They are, because when they're done with you, they do it for the other person.
If they want to, but that's because that's the right person. See, when you're in a misaligned relationship, they're never going to do the things you want them to do because the relationship's misaligned. It's out of whack. So, and our expectations, sometimes, you and I, we need more reassurance, right? We both do. So I'm going to say this, we talk about cheating, but in this one relationship, I'm not sure that we ever really had confirmed cheating.
No, but
we had disrespect of the relationship.
Yes, but I will tell you this: when you talk about things being misaligned with people, sometimes things don't start misaligned.
No, they
it becomes
don't.
that way down the line. And then you're like, okay,
Well, you know
is
why?
going to
Because then
change?
people can only keep up a facade for so long. So let's just be honest. When you get into a relationship, that's why they call it, what do they call it? The honeymoon phase, John, or something, right? We're in bliss, right? Because endorphins are going, all this shit's going on. But people can only be someone else for a period of time. And that's on both sides. So eventually, life is lifing. See, when we're so focused on each other, it's like nothing is happening. We don't know what's happening out here until you have the insertion of children,
Mhm.
bills,
Mhm.
life,
Mhm.
all this stuff, right? And now you're trying to maneuver this and figure out how, if you are a team, you're going to do this together, right? And sometimes it starts to fizzle because you can't get on the same page. You're not on the same page. And then other things just kind of fall behind that, right? And so now you're completely misaligned. But again, if it's the right partner, it's not going to be that hard.
You know, I look at Ashanti and I look at Nelly, and I was talking to a friend this weekend, and they were like, and we were like we were her aunties, and we said, if Nelly fumbles this ball after being
Ooh,
gone,
he's gonna get
after
choked.
breaking her heart, and then he comes back to her and he doesn't do right, there's going to be a bounty on his head.
Right.
And, you know, and you want to believe, and I can only imagine what she went through. You want to believe that if something's meant to be, then it will be.
Mhm.
But yeah, at this age, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's, I mean,
It's
We're
rough.
all
And the older you get,
the harder it is.
I mean, I know you're married, so
You don't want to start
know,
over. I mean, like, who the
Yeah.
fuck wants to start over?
Yeah, like
Like, you've been with somebody for a period of time. You think this is where you're going to be. You're at a certain age. You're like, who the fuck
but you know what? I think that
wants
there
to
are
start
men.
over?
I won't just
Nobody.
say men. There are men and there are women out there who only date while it's the honeymoon phase, and as soon as it's
And then
gone,
they're gone.
they're like, on to the next.
Yeah, because
On to the next. It's gotta be fun again.
because
It's
they
gotta be fun
don't,
again.
they don't want to sink their heels in. So
You know, like, oh, what's
again-
going on with you? What's going on?
So again,
Ah, you're
mostly-
sick, diabetes,
Listen,
cancer.
but
fuck,
mostly
nah.
as women, we feel that way. We feel like, see, immediately, we've been with a guy and we see all these things are going to happen in this relationship, right? We're ready to take care of them. We want to include their children. We're doing all the things, right? We're doing all the things. Well, quite frankly, you're giving them all the wife shit and you ain't married.
Amen.
Pull
Amen.
back. Pull back your energy. Stop doing the laundry. Don't worry about if they've eaten. Pull back your energy until the energy that you desire is coming to you. If they start to lean in and they're starting to do things now to take care of some of those things, okay, you might be in the race. But we got to stop giving them everything. And
Yeah.
this is not a conversation about men, right? This is really
This
about,
is about just
this is
us,
about
us in general. It
women.
could be with other people.
yeah.
It could be with other
I
people.
mean, shit,
and
we have
I
a platonic relationship.
yeah, and I so get that. Like you
Yes.
just at some point you gotta stop.
You just have to
You
pull
gotta
back.
stop. And that's where I am in life. But the pullback hurts, Carrie.
I know it
Go
does.
ahead, John.
We
John.
have some quick comments from the guests. We have be mindful of what you put out. Stop settling. Love yourself. You need to have a priority list for the men you would like to have in your life. And last but not least, talk your truth, Carrie. Real talk.
Well, the priority list should go both ways. If you've got a man's priority list
Mhm.
written up, you should ask him for one back. I mean, I think sometimes we enter relationships thinking that men have to provide all of these things, right? Which technically in the provider space, but we come in with all these expectations off rip. Until a man has courted you, that's not, I mean, he should date you and he should date you properly, right? You shouldn't be out here paying for a lot of things. And it's one thing if you're in a relationship and maybe, you know, they're working towards the future, they don't have what they need. I mean, I don't really get into that. You can't pay this or pay that. I don't really care about that, right? Because if the right person is in your stead, they're going to keep working hard to make sure at some point in the near future, you're not bearing the brunt of everything,
Yeah.
right? But that's a partnership.
A partnership means that it's okay if it's me sometimes
Yeah,
because we're in this together.
right.
We're in it
But
together.
it can't be me all of the time.
Mhm.
I can't feel like I'm left outside looking in
Mm-mm.
all of the time. And if you cannot support me financially, then I certainly expect, and I do mean expect, that you would be helping me in other ways, right? And that is valuable to me, right? Because I believe that the most valuable thing we have is time. So if someone is willing to give me their time, I value that.
I listen to me, spot on. I hate a fucking time robber.
I
I
value
can't stand
time.
a time robber.
So the time, and then what happens after they give you that time and you're thinking that there's, we're building something and nothing happens after that. That's
So I would ask that. I would ask that question.
That's what we're.
Yeah, but think about it. At any given time, did you have to continue on that path? When it didn't meet your expectations, were you clear
Well, if you
about
have
it?
children, you may have to consider that.
Do you have to consider that?
If you have children,
I mean, so you're going to stay unhappy.
I'm just asking. I mean, I don't know. I got to do
and
it.
I'm just going to say,
saying.
let's just talk about it, right? Let's just talk about it. Guys know if they're going to marry you. So if you've been in a relationship for a long period of time, they pretty much know if they're going to marry you. They know within the first 2 weeks, at a minimum, if you're the wife.
That's
If
what
you
some
continue
say.
to
Some say
be,
that.
that's psychological. If you continue to be, it's a man's psyche, right? Now things can change, but they pretty much know that you are a potential for a mate and they will lean in as such.
Mhm.
Anything other than that, you have to decide what kind of relationship. Do you want to be married? Do you not want to be married? In your case, you want to be married.
In my case, I don't want to be married.
Well,
anymore.
maybe not right now, but let's just talk about
I'm
before.
done.
Okay, well, good for you. I like this attitude recently because I think now what's going to happen is when you stop wanting to be married and trying to control the outcome, everything that you wanted is going to be free to move into your space.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to worry about prenups. I don't remember none of that shit.
Yeah, so
I don't.
so
want
now
any
that
of it
you've
anymore.
cleared yourself of all
I don't.
this,
You know, I don't. I just don't want it.
but guess what's going to happen?
I don't want to deal with nobody's kids. I don't want to deal with nobody's exes. I don't want to deal with nobody's girlfriends.
When you least
I don't
expect
want
it, now
babies.
you hear me?
Nothing.
When you least expect it, now it will happen. Trust what I tell you.
No, trust what I
Because
tell you.
you have no interest in controlling the outcome.
I'll be skiing in the Alps.
You're not going to see, and you can continue. You might find him in the
You
Alps.
might
I
find
don't
them
know.
there.
I don't
The
know.
right
Continue
one.
to do you
The right one.
and watch the right one come in.
The right one.
God willing, the show will be continued, be picked up by a network, and then let's just see.
And we will scan
Let's
the
just
Alps.
see
And we'll scan the Alps.
what happens.
You don't need
And be
a
on the
network
beach
show.
in Zanzibar.
I need a network show.
Well, I mean, I'd like you to have one, but you
I would
don't
like it.
need
I would like one because
You
you
don't
know,
need one.
I'm
What
not
you
getting a guaranteed check over there.
No, but what we know. But
Yeah,
what you need,
gas is expensive.
what you need
Woo!
is to continue doing what you've just been
I'm gonna
doing.
do that, and I'm so
You're doing a
appreciative.
great job.
Thank you. I'm very appreciative to be able to have these honest and transparent conversations. I know sometimes it's hard. I know, Carrie, you know, you're married, so I know, but so much that you can really give because you have to protect the home and the family. That's what Tom Brady had said. You know, he loved doing the roast that Kevin Hart did, but his family was
Did not love
livid.
it. Right.
They said, did you really get, you know, even though the kids wasn't talked about, but why did you let them say these things about you? Why did you let them, you know, and it was all in fun spirit with Tom Brady, but I get that part. And he said, if I could do it all over again, I would not have done it because I don't want to hurt the ones that I love.
Well, that, and you live with these people, and it is a respect there on
Mhm.
some levels that, you know, you want to protect, kids included. So
Well, so let me say this. So, and I say this all the
you
time.
never want your kids to feel some kind of way.
No,
Mhm.
but it's an old adage, right? That men need respect to give love, and women need love to give respect.
We do need
So if we don't feel loved immediately, and if men don't feel respected, then they can't give love. So
I
that's
hear a
really.
man chiming in over
Thank
there.
you, Justin.
Yeah, you
Thank
know,
you,
and
Justin.
I totally get that, but that also depends on, I'm 100% everything you say. But as I listen to you saying it, I say to myself, I'm saying, Monique, yeah, do you feel you have always been respectful in your relationships? And
But is that your definition of respectful or his?
that's what I'm getting ready to say to you. Ha ha!
That's the trick.
Ha
That is the
ha!
trick.
The thing is,
Ding, ding, ding.
I could say I've been very respectful, but his meaning of respectful, maybe don't ask me any questions. Once
Well, but I would also
Well,
say, listen, maybe there's some things in the respect space because men, I have learned here, and this is recent, men look at respect very differently than women do, in my opinion.
So how do men look at respect?
How do they? I wish
Sometimes
I had a man to
I'm
tell
gonna,
us.
Justin, I'm going to share, and then you add or tell me if I'm off base, right?
You give us a thumbs
So-
up or a thumbs down.
Justin,
You want the bell?
you want the bell, Justin? Okay, we're okay.
You'll take
So-
the bell?
Take the bell.
Take the bell, Jess. Give us
Just
a,
come in here.
a
So-
ding ding ding.
Come on,
Or
Justin is so fine. I don't know why he doesn't want to come on.
So
camera.
listen,
give
so-
these ladies those beautiful eyes, Jess.
No one's
Right.
watching. It's 3 people on. Come
You
on.
never know.
It's 3 people. Come on, Justin, join us. Come on, I'm so sad.
Come on. Come on.
Take one for the team.
Come on,
Sit next
Justin.
to Kim. Give her a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Come on.
Yay, Justin is our
Yay.
AP.
Let's talk
Joining
about
us. Okay.
So
So
the
what-
respect
mhm,
piece.
mhm.
So I think, it's not just about, it's about allowing a man to be in a man's space, right? That's very difficult for people like you and I because we don't trust very easily. So I can't expect that anyone, and that's man or otherwise, but men specifically need the space to be men. They cannot be in a situation where, and we shouldn't want to be in a situation where we're inseparable because that means that I have no sense of my own self, right? And therefore he has no sense of his own self. We need separation. We need to have, that's healthy. That's one. I think in a lot of relationships, in the dynamics, because people are coming from past traumas or whatever, they're not given the space to be a man. So that's number one, right? Number two would be some men are very turned off by a woman's mouth.
My mouth is fucking horrible.
So mouth would be another thing. It's also the way you carry yourself, right? So it can be, that male friend thing we were talking about. Some men, whether they say it or not, don't really care for that. They might not say it. Now that's not necessarily
But they can have all of the female friends.
well, I'm not, no, we're just talking about men.
Talk about men
So
and
stay
what
on
they
the men
respect.
topic
Yeah.
and what
Okay.
respect looks like to them.
Mm.
So the trust thing is, I will tell you, and this is not so much in what they, that piece, but it's also men look at relationships totally different than women do. And so when we're processing all of this stuff and we're sending paragraphs and we're taking all of this time, men take in a very small portion of that. And then typically will respond from that place or not respond at all, or not respond in the way that you want them to at all. And the other thing is I find, and I could be wrong, but I find it depends on the person. Some men are very avoidant personalities.
Mhm.
And I see that, I guess I feel like a lot more, but
Mhm.
the avoidant personality causes them to totally disengage.
And that seems to be the new thing.
And listen,
I've
right, but
noticed.
listen, that here's what happens. We are attachment styles. So we're like this on the avoidant. We're just pounding the shit out of them. Like, you're not talking to me. Why haven't you texted me today? What is happening there? It's been 3 hours. Like, what the fuck? I mean, so we have to think about where we come from. And the truth of the matter is, and you're going to really hate me when I say this, so everybody get yourselves prepared. Here we go.
Mhm.
Anything that you are having problem with someone else in a relationship is a direct reflection of yourself. Is a direct reflection of yourself. It is something going on here that is causing you, because quite frankly, if I am, and I am not her, so I am not speaking from a place if I'm on a platform somewhere, on a pedestal. I am telling you that if I am up your ass about something, I need to be looking at myself first, because if I am grounded in the superior bitch that I am,
Mhm.
whatever you're doing really is of no concern of mine. Because I'm comfortable here. If I'm super comfortable right here, there's nothing that you're going to do is going to throw me off my square. Now, mind you, someone could be disrespectful. You could still get upset. Though I'm not saying those things. I'm saying that if I am completely whole, none of whatever that is that's going on impacts me at all. So always look back to yourself, because whatever you're doing, whatever you're on their asses about, it's because of something that we're missing here.
But that's also saying that you should handle the situation differently, because if it's something that is, and I really can't get into this because I don't want to talk about my personal situation at all. But if it's something that basically, it's hard, you've been dealing with,
Mhm.
that has come up all of a sudden, I stay in something so long because I am grounded within myself. I'm okay with what I do. We see what I do day to day. We see what's on Instagram. We see all the activity that I have. I don't really have time to sit down and do nothing. And I keep it going, regardless if my partner wants to be there or not.
Right.
And they have other things going. But my thing is, when you do things that lean towards the disrespect, my mouth and my problem
Sure.
becomes, wait a minute.
Mhm.
Now I'm standing, I'm taking care of all my business, and I'm not really bothering you about that. But at some point, you got to deal with it.
Mhm.
And that's what the problem never comes from me, other than what I'm going through recently, but it's never been where I've been down on my own shit about me. Can my mouth be better?
So
Of course it
do
could.
they show you the disrespect before you show your mouth? Well,
No,
not like that, but
no, it happened. They showed the disrespect first.
okay, well then, I mean,
It's first,
proven
and
the
then
first,
I've been quiet for too long is the best thing I can say. And I think because I've been trying to take the docile in the back road in the Monique, shut the hell up. Like, let the man be the man. Let him handle his business. Let him handle. If he says he's got it, he's got it. Believe in your man. Because I've done that, and then things did not turn out that way, for lack of better terms, then the boiling point comes, and it's like,
Stop right there.
well, that's the difference
Stop
between
right there.
disrespect, a guy disrespecting you, and a guy not doing what you
Want him to do.
But wanting
Okay,
to do is the disrespect.
But listen, but want.
Without me saying anything,
Yeah,
you know
okay.
that.
Yeah. So, but listen to what I'm saying. Everything that you just talked about, you talked about what you've been through, and therefore it's what happens because somebody did something. I'm going to take you back because you are sitting with the way that you're dealing with things based on the traumas that you've been through. We all are. So I need you to kind of change that lens a little bit and start thinking about, if I'm up somebody's ass because they haven't texted me or called me.
I don't care about that.
No, I'm just using that as an example. I'm trying to get off of you.
Okay.
So if I'm bothered, right, because someone hasn't called me or texted me, or let's say I sent them a message. Let's just say I sent them a very heartfelt message and they didn't respond, right, immediately. Like I would feel I would respond immediately if someone did that. That's really about me. That's not about them, because they're not required to respond in my time frame.
depends on what time of day it is, though. You send that message.
Well, I'm just saying, and it can be many of things going on, right? Maybe I just wasn't mentally prepared. Shit, maybe my grandma just got in a car wreck. I don't know.
I'm working.
But right, maybe some.
I'm fucking working.
I could be working, and it's not because I don't want to give you the attention that you need and that you deserve, but I can't do it right this second. So when we start to get bothered by that, and I'm her, so girl, I'm not saying it's really us, because that's what we expect. It's not what we expect is not how someone has to behave.
No.
Mhm.
They are the people that they are. So my favorite saying lately, Riley, don't laugh. Let them do what they want to do so you can see what they'd rather do.
It's
tells you-
hard saying.
It tells you everything you need to
Say it
know.
again.
Let them do what they want to do so you can see what they'd rather do.
Like if they have an issue, don't say anything. They're going to show you what they would rather do.
Actions tell you everything.
Let's end with our quotes, because I know that we're coming down towards the end. Justin, is there anything that you could leave us with? Because you don't say much, but is there any advice
Come
that you
on,
could
Jess.
give? You could give your big sister.
It's a good one.
Come on.
What
Just
advice?
give
Give your
us
big
some.
sister
Can I
some
tell
advice.
Like the advice
Well,
I'm
don't
saying?
get into my personal part of it.
Just
though.
in general.
Just
Once you meet somebody that you may like, don't ignore the red flags, because once you ignore the red flags, that's the actual person that they are.
Thanks, Justin. Good job.
Men and female. Not
It was
couple.
there all the time.
Yeah.
We just chose not to look at it.
Carrie.
What?
I'm gonna save your quote for last. Carrie.
Kira, being on this topic right here, we really just need to love ourselves. Watch them. If they don't love you the way you love yourself, beat it.
It's a fact.
For real, beat it.
Okay. I'm gonna say two things. If you see the warning signs, or if a friend is going through something, female or male, put yourself in their shoes and kind of just think about what they could be going through, because you could be married and never had experienced it. You could date the same sex and never went through that. Everybody's circumstance is different. And so kind of just put yourself in their shoes and just realize that people have to do things in their own timing. And last, from what I got from this and what I've been working on lately, and I think we spoke about this, is if you don't have expectations, you don't have disappointment. So stop. For me, this is me talking to myself in the mirror. Stop expecting things, because then you won't be disappointed moving forward.
And I have one to add to that. Stop expecting you from other people. Stop expecting you from other people, because they're not you. And they're never going to be able to meet you where you stand.
Never.
And some people are fighting the battles of their lives. And it doesn't mean they don't want to do it. I hate that saying, if they wanted to, they would. You know, that was like a popular thing. I hated that because some people are just not capable of giving you the love. They don't love themselves enough to love you the way you should be loved. They don't love themselves enough. Okay, that's it.
I would like to add another if I could.
Go ahead,
Sure,
Jess.
I
Justin.
think I tell myself, appreciate the people who are here for seasons, because it's gonna make you an even better person for the people who are here for a lifetime.
That's a
That's
fair
right.
assessment.
It's a learning process.
That's
but
right.
It can suck, but. we gotta
Maddie,
keep
I
it-
got
gotta
you,
keep
girl. We
moving.
in this together.
Question.
Yes.
So you're saying that like how they treat you is a reflection of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that they don't respect themselves enough?
They don't love, if
But
they
they don't
don't
love
show the
themselves
love
enough.
to you, right? If they can't show the love that you, people, so let me say this differently. People can only love you as much as you love yourself. So if that's what you're attracting into your space, it's because you love yourself less.
But also, how can you speak life into somebody else if you don't even speak life into yourself?
Fair. Love that.
You can't give what you don't have.
Correct.
And I know we have like a minute left, and I want to address this to you, Maddie. I want to say that some things are not our fault. And I also want to say that sometimes we love ourselves more than we could ever love ourselves. We give ourselves everything. We educate ourselves. We put ourselves to school. We work really hard so we can have things and so we can be a better person. And sometimes people will come and they will rob you of just the innocence of who you
The
are,
goodness.
because you are a special person. You are a good person. And sometimes, you know what? And this is me trying to practice what I preach. Not everybody deserves you.
Amen.
Not everybody deserves you. And you're younger. You're way younger. What he has in store for you, you're not even going to be able to handle abundantly. It's going to be too much. It's going to be so much love. It's going to be so much comfort. It's going to be so much respect. It's going to be so much caring, nurturing, support, a team person, a partner, that you're not going to know what hit you. And you're going to sit, and I could be long gone from now when it happens. I don't know. But you're going to think about that. I told you, you're too special of a person for some people. And it's their loss at the end of the day.
Amen.
Yep,
It's their loss.
they're lost.
So we want to thank everybody for joining the BestTea Show. I think we got a little deeper than the politics these days. But
This was really deep.
sometimes these things are needed. These things
Yeah.
are needed. And we can't wait to see you next week. Same time, same bat station.
Yep.
We thank our
Instagram.
guests.
Thanks, y'all.
iHeart, YouTube.
We're on all the platforms. Please follow us. Please like us. Please tell a friend. Send it to a bestie. And thank you, Carrie, for being here. Thank you, Justin, to our assistant producer who never comes on camera.
We got him
And
on.
we got him on.
Yay,
Thank you
yes.
to our audience participation. Maddie and Molly, we appreciate you. We're here for you. We're besties for life.
Aunties.
Love you all, okay? Godspeed.
I hate all of it.
All right,
Maddie loved y'all.